welcome back to Work in Progress with Nicole Engelmann. This is where I have honest chats with other small business owners. And today I'm joined by AJ Sylvester, who is the founder of Lolli Social. And basically, what she does is social media management. She's a content creator and a photographer. So there's a lot of things to talk about. Hi, thank you for joining me, AJ.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
That's great. We've been following each other on socials for quite a while. So when I had did the shout out for who wants to kind of join the podcast or be a guest, I was really happy to see that you replied.
Well, thank you.
So to start the whole thing off a bit, do you mind kind of telling us your journey and how long you've been in business and kind of all the changes you've kind of gone through over the time?
Yeah, so I've been doing photography was the kickstart of it all, and I started that when I was 15, but now I'm 32. So it's been a while. And originally I was working full time in another job alongside of it. And then when I turned 30, it was a case of this isn't what I want to do. I want to do my dream. And 30 was the point where I was like, if I don't do it now, I'll never do it. And because I've got two young girls who I want to be a really good influence for, I took the leap and dived straight in. And so far, it's been going really well. I always believed that social media, there was something there where you could build a business on. And in my area, it's a little bit more restrictive in Somerset. But that didn't stop me, especially because I had something to prove to my daughters. So I started that a few years before I decided to take the leap, and it seems to be working out quite well. I like to think, but I've always had the eye for photography since I was little. When I studied art textiles, and I'd forced my little sister to dress up in the outfits I made, and I'd go out and try and attempt to shoot it in a very editorial way. Now looking back, it wasn't quite editorial as much as you'd think now, but I tried, and I was only really young. But I've still got those memories too. But I was given a camera and just went for it, and I've never looked back.
This is great. I mean, I literally have photos of myself holding a film camera when I was, like
I
3 years
loved it.
old.
Oh,
I
sweet.
actually,
Yeah.
I actually used to cut off people's heads,
Okay.
not
Oh,
on purpose, but as a kid, you don't have the patience, so you just click and then you kind of move away uh,
yeah. I
before
grew
that
up.
photo is actually taken.
Yeah, I grew up with a camera in my face, so I think that was quite an influence too.
Yeah, definitely. It's always been around, so I thank my parents for that as well. So did you work in social media in your 9 to 5 job as well, or was it something completely different?
No, I I was a graphic designer for over 10 years, doing vehicle designs and signage. And it was really interesting. You'd get some really exciting projects, but it just wasn't for me exactly. There was more business stuff that I wanted to get my teeth into, and I really did think I had good ideas to make happen, and I wanted to be solo. And plus, being a parent, I needed hours which were even more suited to being a mum. So the only way around that really was self-employment, and yeah,
Okay. And like I'm guessing your graphic design comes in handy now as well for your clients and for yourself.
it does. But I wholeheartedly admit I love Canva. Graphic designers that say they don't like Canva, Canva's my life. I use it daily.
Yeah, me too. It's so easy to use, and has so many possibilities now as well. In terms of the social media or getting started, so basically you said you're 32 now and you started when you're 30, like full time. Was there anything that, like in the last 2 years, that was really challenging, or could you kind of seamlessly continue from your photography?
Yeah, the only thing that like, I found loads of things difficult when it comes to self-employment is one, making sure that you are being your own boss and posting stuff for your business, especially when it comes to social media management, when you're juggling other people's businesses, you tend to neglect your own. So I do have my catch-up days and try and make an effort. Or the I feel with creatives, we can't just instantly switch on being creative. We have to be in the mood. So that was a struggle. And you always have the constant worries of income. But when it does happen, it just it's another feeling of just having your monthly income from a 9 to 5. You feel like, oh wow, I've actually achieved something. Those are the struggles. But yeah, I seem to be making a name for myself in a good way in my area, and I do get people email me with interest, and the development of that makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah, it's
rambling.
yeah, no, no, totally fine. That's what the whole thing is about, right? Just having a conversation. I find that definitely like the income thing is a big thing for a lot of people, and I think it's what a lot of people, the thing that holds them back to kind of take the plunge, I think as well. Um, but the like making your name for yourself and being your own boss. So how do you tackle that, and how do you make sure you're actually your own boss?
I think I'm really lucky because I'm such a headstrong person when it comes to work. I know when I need to kick myself up the butt and get a move on. And often my interest does go back into my own work, where I'm like, actually, I'd prefer to do my stuff over other things rather than be at home doing the housework. You want to get out and make new things, and being constantly on social media, it does persuade you more, seeing other people do stuff.
And how do you find like getting clients then? Because you said you're starting to make a name for yourself in your area as well.
When it comes to the Lolli Social stuff, I feel like down here there is a massive lack of social media understanding. Like 2 days ago, yesterday, I had some dirty looks doing content out on the street. I'd never had that before, and it did make me mad. But I'd never had that before, and I was like, it brings you back a few steps and makes you realize, wow, there is actually a lack of understanding when it comes to social media in my area because I believe we're a little bit old school in Somerset. There is a massive development. People are getting on the train of it all. So I'm using that as a positive and trying to educate people. So when I put out videos explaining stuff, not necessarily tips, but just saying you're doing this wrong, you're doing this right, blah, blah, or this is how I can help you. That seems to make people realize and then automatically need my help or wish for my help.
Yeah, I think that's one of those things where, I mean, obviously in London you don't get the weird looks anymore unless it's a tourist. But I remember like years ago, people would all of a sudden, what's going on here or so on. And now even when I'm out with clients, if I get any comments, it's like, oh, I love the dress, or you're looking good, kind of thing. So people are more like embracing it, and they're so used to it now because especially in London, there's so many content creators and influencers and people taking their photos, because there's a lot of small businesses and creatives and freelancers in the city as well, so there's definitely more going around of that.
That's so nice.
Yeah, but if I would go back home to Germany in my small town and would stand in the middle of the street and have my photo taken, they were like, what the fuck?
I literally had my phone on my stand, and all I wasn't doing anything silly. I was in a dress for somewhere I am employed, but it's all for social media, um, because they're a ladies' fashion boutique. So I'm the one who models for it and has to build all the reels and the content. Uh, and I genuinely, two women just walked past different times, gave me an evil look, and I'm like, excuse you, I'm earning money doing this. That's what, and I'm quite passionate when it comes to. I would have liked to have tried to explain to them. Obviously, didn't have that chance or opportunity. But yeah, it's really hard in this area. But I do have something that I'm arranging to bring more of the social media presence. And it's surprising because you do get contacted by certain businesses where you think they wouldn't want social media at all. So that's refreshing.
Yeah, I think more and more people realize, even in the rural areas, that you need to have kind of some kind of visibility if you want to go beyond your small high street shop, and if you want to build kind of a online shop or something, people need to actually know you exist, even though you're a small traditional kind of space.
Yeah, I think we are making a turn. I'd like to think we are, but we'll see. Hopefully. It's quite nice.
You're helping make that awareness as well. So why is it actually called Lolli Social? So what does the Lolli stand for?
It's a really cute story actually. So I obviously have AJ Sylvester photography, but this was a whole nother business, and the branding I wanted it to be completely different. So it started in COVID. It was a completely different thing where I started doing prints to try and help income. Didn't want to do that. COVID finished, went back to work. But Lolly, the name, stems from my daughter's nickname. We accidentally, not on purpose at all. So her name is Lila Olivia Langdon, and someone pointed out that it's spelt lol with the initials, and I was like, that was not intentional. Whoops. And then it kind of ended up all family members would called her Lolly, and I was like, oh, that's quite quirky. And I didn't want something that was matched AJ Sylvester because it's quite a lengthy title. I wanted something short, quick, and that I could use that I could use branding wise. I envisioned something similar to like the online card websites and stuff.
Yeah.
So Lolly came from that basically. That was a lot of mouthful.
No, no, that's totally fine. That's really cute. It's nice when you kind of, you see a name and it's like, oh yeah, that kind of, you remember the name, but where is it actually coming from? So it's nice to know the reason behind it. Yeah.
Although I get a few weird looks when I say Lolly Social, and they're like Lolly. Like, yes, it does work. You'll remember it.
Like an ice lolly. Yeah.
Yeah, but they will remember it.
But it sticks, exactly. That's the thing. That's all that counts. How do you find running a business as a mom?
It's hard. I'd like to say brings a lot of benefits. Like I can go do the school run and stuff, which not I'm very lucky. Not a lot of moms can do, but it's so hard because you're constantly as a creative as well. When you're in the zone to make content for yourself or for another business, you've got to take that time and really go for it because tomorrow you might just completely be like, nah, I can't think of anything. So yesterday, for example, Tuesdays are my day with my little list, but half the day I was on my phone making a load of notes for my upcoming things that I've got planned, and but I had to do it because I wouldn't have done it before. So the juggle is real, especially when you have a toddler and a tween. But it's worth it because down the line I can go on holiday when I want, if I want to. Whereas some people have to do the 9 to 5, and I do appreciate it's much harder, which is one of the reasons why I did go self-employed.
Yeah, and I think with the holidays as well, you're then constricted to, in summer, like 2 weeks tops probably, and even like Christmas, you don't have longer than that. Whereas since I went full time, at least 3 weeks in Germany in summer. Last year was 4 weeks, and Christmas I can stay longer as well. So it's definitely you're still working a bit, like I'm still doing some editing and stuff, but at least I don't need to do it at home or in an office in front of a desk, basically.
That is the plus side where you can just take it with you.
Like I go home in a couple of weeks, and I'm already looking forward to working from my parents' garden, just with a pool break in between. So that's the nice in between. I mean, but that still means I'm still working on my holidays. But
Yeah, I don't think we actually have a day off, do we?
yeah, and that's the thing. When we love what we do, it doesn't always feel like work.
No.
Obviously, there are parts that feel like work and that have to get done, but um, you're still like you love what you do. It's not like my manager wants this done and I can't even switch off. It's like I'm my manager and I actually love what I'm doing.
I mean, my clients technically are my managers, but
Yeah,
I have a lot of the input. So I will say like, this isn't going to work. This is going to work. So
yeah,
I am the manager, but also you don't want to disappoint at the same time.
yeah. But you can manage expectations and set boundaries.
Yeah,
That
which is definitely
you know,
key.
yeah, and you're the owner of that. So, whereas when you're employed, you're not the owner of the boundaries and the expectations. That's someone else's job.
Yeah, exactly. You still get the worry though, don't you? Like, if you don't do this, then will they?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I definitely still say yes sometimes when I'm thinking afterwards, like, should I have said yes? You know?
I do love saying no though. The power of no. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, definitely. And especially when it's like, when you really feel it's like, no, that's not what I do. This is not, like, we might not be a good fit because this is absolutely not what my work is about. When people ask for, like, can you photoshop that, or what kind of editing do you do, but you can already feel they're going into a um, quite a far field of editing. It's like, no, this is not what I stand for, and what my values are. So I don't think we are the right fit. There's power in that, definitely.
The amount of times that you get, could you make me a size so and so? And you're like, no. And you try and go down the route of, you look amazing as you are. You're like, oh, those stereotypes or stereotypical comments from people when you're shooting.
Yeah, definitely. I think, but over time, it gets better, because if you're clear about your style and what your work looks like, you won't get people that want extensive editing, because they see what you're about and they love your work because of that. And I think sometimes I still get it from time to time, but it's more in a jokingly way.
Yeah, it is always a joking me.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, oh, you can edit that out, or remove the wrinkles or whatever, and then you laugh it off a bit, and like you said, you just make sure people know that they're fine or great exactly the way they are. And that's the other downside of social media, I guess, that people still kind of feel they have to look a certain way and be perfect and not look their age, all those kind of things.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, on occasion, you want to get rid of the spot on this spot. I'll do that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like, you got to sit on the day, or you have a rush or whatever, or you spend a bit too much out in the sun, uh, and got a bit of a sunburn, of course. But nothing that kind of is there permanently and makes you you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's one of the best things about photography as well, is I love capturing the people and their stories.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's one of my favorite things as well, and just getting to know people as well through it.
Yeah. Well, I used to shoot. I stayed on in college to a different place for a year because my college at the time didn't do photography. They brought it in the year I left.
Oh, she's gone now. We can do it.
Yeah. So I went to an upper school for just one more year because I didn't know what I wanted to do exactly. And turned out I studied film photography and I used that so much to capture people in my family who are older, and the film just really caught every detail of their face, but you could see that they had a story to tell, and I appreciate that so much in photography. That's my one thing. I want to bring that more into Sylvester photography, my other business, because I feel like it's required a lot more nowadays over airbrushing. But I do appreciate the amount of work that goes into airbrushing too.
Yeah, it's an art in itself. How do you um how do you kind of bring the two together? Is it quite seamlessly, like the photography and the social media management? So if you do one for a client, you do the other, or is it often separate?
No, I like to bring both in because I feel like you can't just rely on reels and video footage all the time. You do need that high quality aspect. And when it comes to my business, I can, because I've been doing it for so long, it's a highlight in offering professional photography too. And it's kind of a positive for them because they can use it for their website and whatnot too. So it's helpful. But the style is completely different. With my first business, AG Sylvester, it's babies mainly and weddings and families. So polar opposite, but still the integration is great.
Yeah. And it's great when, you love what you're doing on both sides, and then you can bring it together and actually kind of work off of each other, kind of in those aspects. Is there anything that that's really stands out for you in the last 2 years that you um, really enjoyed doing, or that you struggled with as well?
I mean, mainly the juggle as a parent combined with combined with, say that again. Mainly the struggle of being a parent and trying to juggle it all. whilst building a business, because Lolly required basically starting from scratch to make it into something, and trying to get people to, again, in my area, trying to get people to understand it's a requirement nowadays that social media is a necessity for your business. And if you don't have it, eventually you might not be carrying on. And I personally believe that's true. You need social media because billions of people are on their phones daily over reading a newspaper.
Yeah, definitely. I think even locally, when people follow you on Instagram and stuff like that, even if they're, walking past the shop, they're more engaged as well because you kind of share behind the scenes or events or new stock. So people, that's not necessarily something they see when they just walk past the shop or come in like once a month or something. So sometimes social media can help you locally as well and not just in a wider sense, like reaching beyond your village or beyond your town.
Especially if you sell a product too.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have a shop and the own new stock is coming in, or we've, fashion, we've got a new line, then people might come in the next day or a week later and say, oh, I actually saw this.
I've had that a few times.
Yeah, see.
It's so nice when I get asked, someone brought in the actual picture in the socials and said, I specifically want this. And I'm like, yes, it's working.
Yeah, and that's a great way for your clients as well to see actually, yes, this was a good decision to go social and like share more stuff because I actually reach local people as well.
Yeah, I have such a lovely client who will tell me if she's had inquiries for her holiday homes too. And it's just so nice. You're like, I am doing good. I am doing my job. And like
That's
seeing reviews about other things. And yeah, it's a
yeah.
real positive. And it's proof. The proof is
Yeah,
there.
and it's so rewarding, right? And then it's good that she's telling you as well because then you can share it as well and show
Yeah,
it to other businesses and people's like, see, this isn't just about going online and reaching the world. It's also about reaching the community you're already in.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To kind of end the first part, I always ask two questions. Is one thing like, what would you tell starting out AJ? That could be like the 2 years ago, or actually the 15-year-old being into photography. Um, would you tell her anything different, or give her some kind of advice to do something differently?
I'd love to say something positive, but I've been through a lot, and life won't be easy, especially if you are trying to prove a point, but prove it for yourself over trying to prove it to anyone else, even though that is partly the drive.
I love that because it is sometimes when, well, you know, we should do it more for ourselves, but often it is to prove a point to someone else or show like you're wrong, I can do this.
That is basically my personality, though. If someone tells me, um, I don't believe that you're going to be able to do it, I'm like, oh, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. I'm like, but afterwards, I mean, there is a benefit of making it happen in trying to prove it to other people, because essentially you are proving that you can do it. But overall, yeah, you need to make sure you're doing it for you, but you can do it for you. I'm proving to myself that I can,
For the right reasons, yeah.
and anything's possible in this world. Like, I think a lot of people my age believe a 9 to 5 is the only way to make a living, when really there's so many options out there. And to meet new people, like, I would have never spoke to you if I hadn't took the leap and joined Jess's group. Um, so I'm putting myself out there for this. I've never done this before. Yeah, take the leap too. That's another one. Try new things. Very stereotypical, but it's so true.
That's where the exciting stuff happens as well, right? And it's just the first step to again be more visible and do the things that you're actually telling your clients to do more of as well. I think that's one of the things we always neglect ourselves in that equation as well. That I've only probably started in the last 2 years or so to show up more.
You're doing so well.
Yeah, and it feels really nice now, but like a year ago, it was a bit of a struggle because it doesn't come naturally to me.
You get used to it though, don't you?
Um, but again, Yeah, you're changing your mindset. You're seeing other people that you kind of, admire and that you follow, and it's like, well, they do it, so what's the big deal, right? And then you also get more people saying, oh, I love what you're doing, and it's like, okay, so this is fine. And we're basically telling our clients to do this. Why are we not doing it, right?
Yeah, exactly. I've got to make myself do it. I love what you're doing though. You come up on my feed all the time. My algorithm is like, go to her. You like her.
Oh, thank you. It's working. My master plan.
I really want to come up to London at some point anyway. I miss London. I used to go, not often, but it's one of those places where I love to escape to. And so, yeah, you never know. We might meet in the future face to face.
Yeah. Well, Somerset is a place I haven't been to either, and it's like on my list, like Bath and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, I love that. I'm a bit far from here, but it's only a train run.
Yeah, but Somerset is big, and there's so many, like, there's quite a few people that know that live around the area. So at some point, I will make my way there. The other question I ask as well is, what's something you're really proud of? Could be something recent, could be something years and years ago.
I'm, oh, I guess I'm that so repetitive answers. I'm really sorry, but when the taking of the leap, because I now rent my own studio. I would never have done that if I stayed in a different job. And the fact that probably I am going to prove to my daughters that I did what I wanted to do. Whether it will work out in the long run or not, we'll see. But if I didn't take the leap, I'd probably regret it. So that's a proud moment. So when I turned 32 years ago, that was the opportunity that I took.
It's lovely. And I love what you said as well, that if you wouldn't have done it, you would have regretted it, because that's it, right? We're always regretting things we haven't done. We're never really regretting things we've done, even if they haven't worked out.
I used to be the person who was too scared to do things in case of. And yeah, when I turned 30, I was like, no, I can't be that person anymore. Because if what would I tell my daughters? And I use that example in every daily thing. Like, what would I say to them? So yeah, that was the example.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for that. This concludes basically part one of the podcast. So, for everyone who's listening, stay tuned. In a couple of days, there will be part two. And so far, thank you for joining us, AJ, and I'll talk to you soon.
I love it.